evening, Jared, and how are you feeling today?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Very good. I'm blessed as well. I know we were on Zoom earlier this morning. It seemed like I just saw you, and here we are this evening. As you all know, and some of you who may view this later on, my name is Professor Joan Pierre. I'm also a DTM, which is a member of LIU Brooklyn Toastmaster Club, and I love doing these interview and listening to people speak. What I'm going to do this evening, act of random kindness, I will be interviewing the VP, Gerard Ajot Singh. But before I do this, I have a little surprise. Give me a minute to bring it up. This evening, I will be reading a poem, A Random Act of Kindness, written by Sedona Dreams. A random act of kindness is sometimes all it takes for a soul to gently rally and a heart not to break. Warm can stem the tears falling from the eye of an unknown stranger, like silent teardrop from the side. Love can heal the scars of wounds made long ago, through words spoken gently by those who barely know, reaching out to one another for reason we know not why, can bring a sense of being, a reason not to cry. A random act of kindness goes a very long way. That's just my addition. So, good evening again, Jared. I will jump right into the interview. Let me bring up the questions. Number one, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, hello, my name is Jen Ajuda Singh. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago. At birth, I suffered a stroke with forceps delivery. I was born with right side injury. With that, I am unable to use my left side of my body, especially my left hand, to pick up things, to write, to hold, things that normal humans be able to do without thinking about it. I have to hold things in a certain way or position, or get help either from family, friends, siblings, or whoever I'm with. Because of this, the lack of being able to do stuff myself is a little tedious and unfair to me a little because I want to do these things, but with the lack of resources and stuff like that, I am unable to do so.
Thank you for that. So let's jump to number one, which I think you sort of mentioned, but you could elaborate more. The first question, if someone has balance, weakness, or movement issue, what are the safest and easiest type of exercise they can do? For instance, like seated movements or walking in water to benefit their brain. What will you recommend?
I recommend um, holding weights or if you're shopping things in bags that can have a good amount of weight. You can use it to balance yourself and know how much weight you can carry on one side of the body over the next. Like if you're going to the grocery store, you hold bag from the grocery store to transportation, from transportation to your house or walking. I think carrying weights in a bag or if an item that has a good amount of weight, you can use that to balance yourself.
Okay, thank you for that. Number two, how can simple daily activities that involve both physical and cognitive engagement, example, following a new recipe, complex gardening, or dancing, be used as a combined strategy to boost neurological health?
I can say Communicating can be an example of form of exercise or cognitive
Cognitive.
kind of a strategy or thinking. For example, at my current job, when patient comes to me asking how to print or add money to a kiosk, to the library card, I show them step by step by thinking and thinking based on the information they give me. Like for example, they just got a library card, they want to add $3 to the card. In order to print, I said, I'll walk into the kiosk, tell them to scan the QR code, tell them to add put in the PIN, which is the month and day of their birth. From there, I show them this is how much you need to put uh, in order to print because each page, black and white is 10 cents, color is 50 cents. So based on the pages and amount of money they need, I show them how to at it, and if I'm unable to do so, I walk them to the TRS staff near the computer center or kiosk to explain to them based on what the patron is looking for.
And Gerard, that is definitely an act of random kindness. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Because you demonstrate a lot of patience, and I like the tone of your voice because you do have a very kindful voice. Number three, if you could speak directly to your pre-injury self about this role, what's one piece of advice will you give him about leadership and kindness?
All right. For me, there was no such thing as pre-injury self because my injury happened the day of my birth. So talking to myself is like talking to them in heaven before I was.
Mm,
Because my injury happened at birth, not after birth.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So I can say for my younger self, instead of pre-interest in my younger self,
Mm-hmm.
that be grateful for what experience you're going through because these experiences will lead you to something bigger. I always say to myself and people around me, things happen for a reason. Without those reasons, you wouldn't be where you are today. For example, my injury, having a disability at birth, causes me to have seizures, which make me understand that taking medication can lead a normal life, not normal life, but a safer life for me, as well as um, thinking about what's the next step for recovery and helping others, people like myself who has injuries to understand having injuries is a normal thing.
Thank you for that. The last question, what is the simplest act of kindness that anyone listening or reading this interview in the future could perform today to support your organization mission?
The simple acts of kindness a person can do if they coming if they are reading this reading or coming across this interview is that there's something thing you can do is an act of random kindness. If you're coming home, leaving a restaurant with leftovers, and you know you're not probably want to eat it the next day or next few days, give it to a homeless person on the streets, or helping a pedestrian across the street. And think of those small things will become act of random kindness because you are helping God's children. No matter who you believe in, no matter what God you are trusted and believe in, we're all God's children. So helping a individual with a need or who is looking for help is an act of kindness. And we are a organization does random act of kindness because we show that God, that we are here to help his people.
Thank you, Gerard. I really love this interview. And I was, before I look up the poem, I was on my computer and I was working on a project. And I said, for this interview, I think it would be appropriate to really, at the beginning, introduce a poem. So, did you enjoy the poem? Did
Mm,
you like how I implemented it into our interview?
of course, I love it.
Yes, I love it. And it was a great interview. I really enjoy how you answer the question, and I hope that you enjoy it as well.
I do. I also want to say that
Mm-hmm.
a person like myself with brain injury,
Mm-hmm.
especially a person who was born with a brain injury and that injury happened after a few years or decades, shows that I am capable of becoming a better person in myself.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated with a degree in business management and administration from Berkeley College with a 4.0
Mm-hmm.
GPA and 19 A's and 4 B's. So if I can do it, people like myself and people
Mm-hmm.
in their future, not saying they'll be born with a disability or be injured, can do anything if once they put the mind to it and once they know that things will come to play when time comes.
Thank you very much. And I do hope when the viewers listen to this interview, they really have a great takeaway. And I am confident that they will have a great takeaway. And thank you for your time and have
Thank
a pleasant evening.
you, Professor Jones.
Okay. Good evening to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.